Bear with me 1 minute. It's a new setup here. Make sure the shadow's not too strong. Should be good. Oh boy, it's exciting. Make sure the frame's not too ugly. Okay, looks like we are ready here. Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Chris Legaspi, and today we are going to do a color study from the old masters. We're going to paint a color study in oils, and we're going to color study the great N.C. Wyeth. So we're going to talk about the color study process, why it's important, and how we can get started and how we can do our own color studies. And we're just going to try to get through as quickly as much as we can on camera here. Trying a new setup, and we're going to be using oil paints. So this is canvas taped on a board. And thank you for being here, wherever you are today. And before we begin, I just wanted to shout out my website here. I have a lot of painting resources as well as color lessons, resources, premium classes, and I have a brand new painting class that's now available for pre-launch, where I will teach you how to transition from drawing to painting. If you want to learn more about my free painting classes or my premium painting classes, go to www.drawwithchris.com, and there you can enter your email and sign up for my free email list there. You can get access to lots of free resources as well as discounts on premium courses and programs. And before we begin, comment below, where are you located? Where are you watching from? And what time is it for you? I am currently in Thailand. It's, what's today? Today's Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday morning for me. So thank you for being here wherever you are. Oh, this thing is very shaky. I don't know why. So obviously I got the drawing here just to save a little time. But the drawing is quite simple. So before we begin, I just wanted to talk about studying the old masters. There's lots of ways to study the old masters, but the one that we're doing today is a color study. And what I recommend, and these two paintings here, this is N.C. Wyeth and this is John Sargent. what I recommend when you're learning to paint, we're going to do a beginner-friendly exercise here, is to choose master works that are monochromatic mostly, meaning they're mostly one color. As you can see, this one we're going to do today. Comment below, what is the dominant color here? I think we can all see it. What is the dominant color? I'll give you a clue, it's one of the primaries. And here, what is the dominant color here? You see, those of you who already paint, you'll know what I'm talking about. Obviously, the dominant color is blue. So this is like 80% blue and some whitish blue, some blue that's also white. This is mostly blue. Even the character, he does seem to have browns, but they're actually gray blues. So we'll explore that as well. And this one, this is the sergeant. See, this one is mostly brown. It's 80% brown, specifically burnt umber. So you can see that these are good choices when you're just starting to paint because you don't have all this confusing color to judge and to make decisions. You just know, okay, well, it's mostly brown, so I just have to make mostly brown decisions. And this one is mostly blue, so I just get to practice blue. That's what we're gonna do today. So that's the goal when you do a color study from the old masters, is to first choose one that's mostly monochromatic. That way you can focus on one color at a time. So that's my philosophy in painting, especially when you're new to painting in color. You just want to learn one color at a time. I recommend earth tones. So I've done lots of earth tones demonstrations already. Now we're going to do a mostly blue master copy. Let me see if I can put it here. Actually, yeah, I can put it here. Let me do that. Put it on my little canvas there. Ain't that nice? Let's see if we can put it. Oh, we can. Look at that. I might get it wet though. Some paint. All right, look at that. Okay. This is it's very exciting. I haven't painted in a while. You know, like I mentioned earlier, I live in Thailand at the moment, and it's quite difficult to get oil painting supplies. Let's brush this up. Painting's not common here, so those of you watching from Asia, you'll know what I mean. You see how dark? I know you can't see my palette, but this is that's quite dark. What I'm going to try to do is match the value first of the character. And well, before we begin, so let's talk about actual painting procedure. So this is mostly a landscape, right? It's mostly a landscape with a character. It's basically a landscape with a big character. So typically in landscape, I like to paint front to back. So I would paint the sky, the water, the ground, background, middle ground, foreground. But here, I'm gonna paint the sky last. Why? Because I'm gonna use the white of the sky to cut out and correct my drawing. So I may need to correct my drawing. So what I should do is paint the ground, the water first. And I'm gonna do that now. I was gonna paint the man first, but I'll do the water first, and then the character, and then everything else. So that's just, so you know, because we're using, we don't have Photoshop layers anymore. So we have to actually have to plan ahead what we're doing. So water first. So now let's look at the field of water. Let's look at the field of water real quick. You see this field of water? You see there's a gradation. You know, I'm always talking about gradations, that's what I'm talking about. You see it's darker here, lighter here, slightly, it's actually like a purple white. It's like a purple white. That means it's more red here and slightly more green. It's very subtle. So this is almost true ultramarine. So it's a blue or a cobalt blue. So this is blue, kind of in the middle. And then it gets a little bit purple blue plus red plus white, blue plus red plus white, blue plus red plus white. So that's what I see. So I'm looking at it and I'm calculating the mixture in my brain when I do the thing on the palette. Because you gotta think before you make a thing here. I hope you know what I'm saying. You gotta think a little bit. Those of you who watch my videos, you know what I'm talking about. I say the same thing pretty much every time. So I just made a mixture. Let me test it. Okay. Let me test it here. That's too dark. I'm trying to get a nice mixture for the water. And the water is also the most saturated thing. That's still, oh, it's kind of dark, but let's put it down. Okay, so it's too gray, but that's okay. There's actually a movement too, left to right. From left to right, it gets a little bit more gray and a bit more saturated right around here, and that's intentional. You see how he put, the artist put a gradation top to bottom. We could all see top to bottom, right? Gradation. There's also gradation left to right, which also I'm always talking about. And the gradation or color transition is from the left, it's it's the same blue, but a little bit more gray, a little bit more desaturated. And it gets more saturated, more, boom. So he puts the hottest saturation right behind the character, which is pretty smart, right? We all know that makes sense. We can all agree that makes sense. That's something we would do. So let me just put a little bit more paint down. Okay. It's still too dark. It's way too dark. Whew, it looks very dark. I don't know why. Yeah, oh, it's way too dark. It's better. Oh, much better. Much better. Much better. Okay, cool. So it's starting to work now. It's still a little too gray on this side, but that's okay. I know how to fix that. And actually, I should paint the whole man. Now that I think about it, I'm just afraid to lose my drawing. Spent so much time on that drawing. Drawing's a pain in the butt. I should paint the whole man because he has blue notes in him, like on his arm and stuff. He's actually all blue. He looks brown, doesn't he? Comment below. Do you think the character looks brown or more brown or more blue? This is a trick question, actually. What do you think? If you were going to paint this, would you make the character more brown or more blue? It's a trick question. Oh, the answer is blue, of course. And you'll see, this is why color studies are so important. Because What he's doing is an optical illusion. It's because this is so blue, and this is also blue, but it's blue plus brown, so it's actually a dark gray blue. And because it has touch of warm color, so it's basically warm against cool. Warm blue against cool blue. Gray blue against reddish blue. And it's popping, and it makes your eye looks at this and goes, oh, that's brown. And it's drawn in the shape of a man. So it's drawn in the shape of a human being. So your mind perceives this zone to be brown. So you see, that's an optical illusion. That's why it's so important to do master copies, because when you do them, when you actually try to make it in real canvas, you'll realize like, oh, my eye was tricking me. That is the point you want to get to, is when you can realize like, oh, okay, my eye will trick me, because color is mostly perception. Actually, all of realistic art is all perception. Our whole purpose as artists is to trick you into thinking we're creating things that aren't real. So this is all an optical illusion. Just like value in a drawing is an optical illusion, the color as well is an optical illusion that we have to be mindful of. So that's my sales pitch for doing color studies there. I hope I can get through this. So this brush is quite annoying. I'm using an old crusty brush. I don't want to cover my drawing. I don't want to lose my drawing. Well, let me get a bigger brush. This sucks. This brush is pissing me off. This brush will go. Okay, we got a number 14 Renaissance brush here. Let's give this bad boy a try. Let's see what this looks like. Boop. Oh, that's a nice blue. Look at that. That's pure ultramarine blue and white. Can you guys see it? Let me put it over here. Let's put it right here. See that? Woo! That looks pretty good. That's pretty close. Look at that. Oh, that's so rich. See, this is blue plus white plus a little bit of brown. So it's grayed out a little bit. That's why I wasn't happy with it. I really need to okay, so let's get this gradation going. We got the top okay. Let's do the middle now, which is obviously just gets lighter and lighter, but we know that we can't just add white. You already know where I'm going with this. You can't just add white. You got to add a touch of warmth to it as you go brighter. Oh man, I'm gonna run out of white. Sucks. Ooh, it looks so cool. Man, this is so cool. Oil painting's kind of cool. I haven't done it in a long time, but it's very rewarding. It is a big pain in the butt to set up. That's why I was a little bit late today. You know, the setup to me is the most difficult part. Is the setup and the cleanup. Is the setup and the cleanup actually, because the actual painting process is very enjoyable, and I would argue it's just as fast and efficient. Well, as computer programs, but they have layers in editing, Control Z and stuff. But if you can get set up and clean up efficiently, it's a very enjoyable thing. Those of you who are painting already, comment below. Who's watching live? Are you painting already? Maybe some of you have tried this already. Maybe some of you want to paint. Maybe you bought some paints and you were like, what do I do with this stuff? This stuff is hard. It's hard to set up, which it is. I gotta admit. Oh, running out of white. So sad. I'm running out of white. I'm literally running out of white. White paint is almost gone. My tube of gambling that I got from America is almost gone. You see that interesting color mixing that just happened? I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's little flecks on this brush. There's little flecks of brown. And as you paint, you know, the individual hairs, they do that cool thing where it's really cool. It's really cool. When you, when you see it, it's like, wow, it's cool. And sometimes you don't want it, so it's really frustrating. Okay, so this is, right now I'm seeing I have a problem with my palette. Right now I'm using burnt sienna to make this, but I actually need alizarin crimson. I need a transparent red. Burnt sienna is too brown. So it's making it more gray than I want. Actually needs to be like a pink, which will come from actual pink. Alizarin crimson is a pinkish red. I should put some on my palette actually. Let me do that. Oh my God, I got paint on my shirt. Ugh, yuck. I got some ugly paints too. It's very upsetting. Okay, let's see what happens if I do. Okay, that's negligible. I'm gonna use all my white now. So I just made a new mixture, added some red, alizarin crimson, a light red. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, that's pretty close. It's pretty close. It's not, it needs to be brighter, obviously. It needs to be brighter, grayer, pinker. Oh man. Oh no. Poor white. Okay, let's do that. Just cleaning up my palette here. Adding some more white. Okay, sorry about the noise there. Okay, what are we doing here? I forgot where I was. Oh, right here. So more white. And a touch more pink. Let's see what that does. Oh yeah, I think this will do it. Let's try this. So I got a new mixture. Let's see what this does. Okay, that's a lot better. It's a bit warmer. Still needs to be brighter. This edge is still needs to go brighter. Or does it? Can't really tell at the moment. Okay, now need to get that white of the sand. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that. Sand a little bit whiter here. Okay, that looks okay. It looks okay. It's also a temperature pop. So you see how in the original, right here, you see the zone right here. You see how it kind of pops against the background? What's happening here is these are both blue, right? These are both blue. This is light blue and a darker blue, right? Value difference, separating them. There's also a color difference. This is, gosh, what's going on here? Okay, yeah, this is blue, but a little bit more towards green. This is blue, a little bit more towards red. Towards red, because you know how blue can go, can be more reddish blue, can go towards purple, or can go towards green and yellow. So that's what's happening here. There's a subtle temperature shift that I'm not getting. See, on mine, they're both in the blue. See, these are both the same blue, temperature-wise. It's just one is lighter than the other. So what I need to do is, I don't know if this will work. I'm gonna try to add a reddish note. Okay, that's kind of not working. But that's, this is why, again, why it's important to do these color studies is because when you look at this, you go, okay, that's blue and that's blue plus white. Then when you paint it, you're like, wait a minute, it doesn't look right. What's going on? What am I missing? So that's why this exercise is so important. Okay, so it pops a little bit better, but and I kind of need to move on. I need to move on anyway. I need to move on for the sake of this video here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the man, to our figure here. And we'll do the plants last. So now we can go back to my figure, but I'm going to start with a fairly dark. The figure is the darkest thing, obviously. So I'll make a pretty dark mixture. That looks pretty good. I'll just put it on the canvas to see what happens. Okay, so I just put it there. That's really dark. So that should go roughly here in this zone. Well, before we do that, let's look at the figure and analyze the movements in the figure, right? So in the background, we can see the movements, top to bottom in the ocean, gradation, right? Darker here, lighter here, temperature shift. Less saturated here, more saturated here. So saturation shift. What's going on here? What's going on here? Clearly, um, his skin, the umbrella, have some warm notes, right? It's a little bit warmer. It looks brown, right? Here, 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 here. So that means this zone, the upper zone, is a little bit more brown. Then we go down to the middle zone. You see it gets darker. You see it's lighter, but it gets much darker here. What's the color notes here? I just see rich blacks. So this is kind of what I have here. Rich, bluey, brown, black. And then it's pretty much the same. It gets a little bit lighter when it gets to his feet. So darker and lighter. So that's the color shift. That's what I see. That's what I interpret. So let's get it on the canvas there, just so we can see. So it's good to really take the time to make these decisions and observations first, so you know what you're doing, so you have a plan. You're not just winging it, you know. You don't want to just wing it. I mean, you can, but obviously it's more prudent to think about what you're doing. It's wiser to pause and think about life before you go too far in life. Think about what you're doing. Oh man, you see that bottom edge. Not happy with that bottom edge. Ah, you see that edge. Yuck, it's ugly. Needs to be sharp. And I'm trying to be very sharp with the contour on purpose, because drawing wise, it'll also help him to separate more, and that's what I want. Okay, so we got a problem here. Oh yeah. So I got to come in and cut into that drawing of that gun. The gun handle, the gun barrel is very ugly. I have to redraw contour. Same with this leg. And what's interesting about painting too is that it's there's always a problem solving. Something always happens. Like right now, my drawing is all messed up. The edges are kind of messed up. So I gotta go back in and fix those. Now notice the cast shadow. Look how blue that is. See the cast shadow? It's super saturated. Let me try to capture that if I can. Oh man, mine is way too saturated. And again, you see, this is why color studies are important. So I look at this field and I go, oh, wow, that cast shadow is really saturated. I bet it's just blue out of the tube plus white. Then I tried it and go, oh, nope, nope, I was wrong. So you see, this already taught me a lesson. That's why this is so important. I already know, like, okay, this color surrounded by this color at this value is actually this mixture, which you can't see, but it's on my palette. It's actually blue plus brown. So it's actually a bit more gray than I thought. So you see, as I make this zone, I'm gonna learn a lot about blue and the different temperatures, you see? So much learning is happening right here that I wouldn't get if I just went and tried to paint a figure by myself, right? If you just tried to paint a figure, that's really hard. And then you go, oh, let me try to figure it. No. So it's, you know, these great masters have already figured out a lot of stuff for us. So it's so simple for us to just go to them for the answers. And that's typically what I recommend. That's why I'm always encouraging this exercise, because you grow so much if you do it. To me, it's just strange. It's strange why people don't do this. To me, it's strange. This is the first thing I did. Even as a kid, I wanted to learn how to draw superheroes. So I copied drawings of professional superhero artist drawers. And then when I started to become a painter, other people much smarter than me, more advanced than me, told me to try this. And I realized, oh, they were right. Now I know why they also recommended this exercise to me. But anyway. So the drawing is kind of messed up. There's a lot of drawing is not right. Let's keep going. I'm very upset. I'm upset because the drawing is kind of ugly now. I gotta. Oh my God. I just want my drawing to look decent. Let me just feel the shape. It's actually, oh my God, it's too black. It's too brown. So now I'm gonna do the umbrella. And it's much lighter than, you'll see how brown this looks. Oh, look at that. So again, I'm learning another lesson here. I'm looking at my painting, looking at the original, and go, oh man, it's way more brown than I originally thought. I'm trying to keep the sharp edge, but that's all right. We got plenty of time to fix the drawing. I probably won't get there on camera, but yuck. Ugh, yuck. I wish I could take that back. Look at that big blob. Oh my God, it's so awful. I wish I could take that back, boy. Jeez. Oy, oy. Ugh, this drawing's making me cry. It's making me cry. Okay, what do I do? So I got some warm notes on my palette here. Let's see what we can do with some of these warm notes on my brush and the palette as well. Adding some of the warm notes before I go back to add the cool blue notes. Ah, I'm so upset. Hmm. Thinking about changing my brush. Let's try a new brush. Let's try a new brush. Let's see. So I gotta hit the cool blue notes on his arm there. Oh my God, look at that. That's too blue, obviously. It's too blue, it's too bright. It's better, it's much better. I gotta try to get this sleeve. Notice I saved the sleeve because I was kind of waiting for this part right here. Oh, that drawing upsets me. There's some more. There's some more blue notes on the front. So he has a left to right gradation too. I didn't mention earlier. So now this drawing is kind of wonky now. Drawing, ugh, the strokes are so ugly. Oh my God. Ooh. I want to keep my pretty drawing, but it's okay. It's okay. This ain't a beauty contest. He has some dark notes in his beard. I want to get those. There it is. Just a clear separation of the beard. Not right. That doesn't look, it's not exactly what I wanted. Let's see if I can try to fix this passage right here. Okay, that's pretty. It's an interesting zone. There's some notes that I don't quite understand what's happening in that zone by his shoulder. There's some blue notes on the umbrella as well. And it's a bit more lighter notes on his shirt there. I don't know if I quite got that. That is tough. That's a tough one. This little nugget of blue on his shirt. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Ah. Oy. That is tough. Okay, so now this is the part in the painting where you pause and think about life and you try to calm yourself down. Every every painting will kind of take on a life of its own. As you build up, it starts good. We started happy. And as we build up, it starts to go in a direction you may not want. So it's good. It's good to pause and think and not get too angry. As talking to myself here. You just gotta reflect on life and be like, it's okay. It's okay. You can always paint over it. Don't worry, Chris. Don't worry. That's why it's better to paint without being live streamed live, so you can make a bunch of mistakes on your own without people watching you make mistakes. It's okay. So if you're learning to paint, don't do live streams right away. That's my message to you. Don't do live streams right away. Take some time before you do it. Now it's just kind of messy and kind of not cohesive now. Okay, so he's a bit spotty. We have lots of notes, which is what I want. Color note, but there's no like cohesive flow. And that's partly because, I have to draw with a brush. And partly because, I'm on camera, so I'm rushing. I'm trying to do this quickly so this video doesn't take 3 hours. Normally I would be more patient, but I'm trying to do a nice video here. So that's also my excuse. My excuse. But generally, what you want is the notes to make sense. You want the gradations to make sense. Like, oh, it's more warm here, more cool here, darker here, lighter here. So there. Right now, I'm trying to get some of that unity back, as Jiao Mingwu would say. Unify things a bit more. And I really, I need to do the sky. Okay, I have to move on. Well, let me do the bottom before I do this. I'm really not happy with that. Of course. This is where painters earn their money, is when you got to try to correct your drawing and colors at the same time. This is why painters get the big bucks. My brush is dirty. Just trying to correct the drawing, but I need to move on. I need to do the sky. My hands are filthy dirty now. What the hell? Holy cow. I forgot how dirty you get doing this. Oh, man, I gotta mix a big field of white. Okay, that sky is a cool gray white. So we gotta make it. Oh man, we gotta find a big brush. Let's use this one. Cool gray white. Let's see if we can make it. There we go. It's basically just plain old white. Okay, so that's clearly, you see it's not bright enough. God, I swear. It's the right temperature now. It's the right grayness, but it's still not bright enough. I might as well just try out of the tube white. Let's just try out of the tube white. This is so frustrating. It's basically out of the tube white. It's really bright. I almost didn't need. See, so now I'm worried about the drawing. I'm like, oh crap. I have to be very careful, sort of, with this drawing now, because you see, I have to draw now with this big blobby of paint, and any mistake, right? If I cut too much into the character or the water, I have to correct it, which takes more work, and I'm gonna, which is fine, but again, I don't want this video to take 4 hours. So I'm gonna try to get it on one pass. Because any correction will be more time. I'm already in trouble here. I really shouldn't care about the drawing. I really shouldn't care. I mean, we gotta, never mind, gotta care about it. I'm just so used to drawing, I haven't painted in a while. So you have to like change modes. Because you can still draw with a brush, obviously, but it's a different kind of drawing. It's more of this, like what I'm doing here. More of this abstract, it's mass drawing. Okay, so you see how ugly that is? That's very ugly. And I should fix that, but I can't. In order for me to fix that, I have to, I have to get a tiny brush. It's already a pretty small brush. I have to do lots of correcting. Oh my God. Oh, let's see if I can get this thing. And this will be a good stopping point here. That was not easy, and it's still not right. Oh my God. Yeah, this stuff is important, but you know, this will take me time to really make this drawing sharp. And right now the camera's in my face, so I'm also limited by the camera. The camera's in my way, basically. So I'm not going to do that on camera. Sorry. You don't want to watch me. It's boring anyway. It's just frustrating. Anyway, it's the best I can do. Let's do the little bushes at the bottom here. We'll call it a day. That'll be a good stopping point. So I got a bunch of white on my brush. So I could use a new brush. That would be the smart thing to do. Instead of trying to, oh, this one's already clean. This one's a lot cleaner, but still got a bunch of white. Oh, jeez. I gotta load my blue again. Now the camera for real is in my way now. Luckily, this drawing isn't that important. It's a little, what this is more of a compositional element. Oh my God, it doesn't look anything like a bush. Camera's in my way, that's my excuse. Literally, camera's in my face right now. I have to paint around the camera. So this is very awkward. That's my excuse why this drawing looks so terrible. Doesn't quite look like what I imagined it would look like. A little bushy thing. Oh my God. Anyway, that's as close as I can get. Also, these little nuggets, oh, you can't see them, but these little flecks of grass, they're also part of the composition. So I have to note them. There's a little bit of grass behind him as well. And that is pretty much it, my friends. This is a good stopping point here. Oh my goodness, my hands are so dirty. Okay, about an hour, not bad. So we still got a lot of drawing to correct, obviously, but who cares? I'm not gonna do that now. But it's pretty close. We got the movements, mostly brown here. Mostly browns here, darker here, gray and blue here. So movement there. We got the notes, some blue notes in the shadow, blue notes on the left side. So there's a subtle blue gradation from left to right. For sure, we got the ocean. You know, there's some details in the ocean that I didn't get. Obviously, that's actually quite helpful. That little wave is helpful. I should put the wave. Damn it, I thought I was done. Sorry, there's a wave. This wave, you see the wave? That wave is important. I just know I've studied Wyeth composition for so long. I know there's a reason why this wave is here. I'm not 100% sure why, but I have to get it down or else I will lose sleep. So that wave, oh, I know why. He's drawing a triangle. I see what he's doing. He's drawing a triangle. That's why that wave is important. That wave is not an accident, and its location is not an accident. So in my study, I have to honor the composition as best as I can. Oh my God. There's a little bit of a dark note I tried to get. So anyway, okay, that makes me happy. It's close. It's close. See the wave? So he's drawing a triangle. But anyway, you see how we got the major notes. We got the compositional notes right here, and this right here. See, he's drawing a triangle arrow like this. That's what he's doing. He's drawing a triangle. So right away, this makes it a bit of a religious symbolism. So this is symbolism right here, besides painting. So this is composition talk. I just noticed this. This is symbolism. This triangle, he's invoking, I believe, Christian iconography here. So this is semi-religious. What he's doing, he's basically making this figure like a religious figure by placing him here on the thirds and by invoking the triangle. So this is a strong triangle. You may not see it, but it's there. There's a mini triangle here, a tall one, and there's a wide one here. So anyway, that's compositional notes. So we got the notes, we got the color notes, we got the sky, we got some of the drawing, we got the gradations. So that's the point. The whole purpose of this exercise is for you to mix paint and to try to match the notes of the original and to try to see how to improve, so you can see your own mixing skills and your own observation skills. So you can see like, okay, I see this blue. How do I make the blue? And you can see mine is too gray. Mine is too gray, you see? I need to add more blue. So I just learned that I need to improve, the next time. Well, actually, if I were to refine my study, I would need to add more blue, less brown. I would need to clean my brush, da 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 da. So that's the point, my friends. So please give it a try. And we'll do a lot more in the future now that we have oil paint set up. And don't forget, if you like this video, you like my work, you want to learn more about painting and color, I have a brand new course coming out, as well as many free resources and other premium painting and color programs as well. So go to www.drawwithchris.com and make sure to sign up for my free insiders email list. You'll get all the access from me, including access to my new courses and discounts on my premium programs as well as a whole library of free lessons and downloads. So go to www.drawwithchris.com. And thank you for joining me today. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.